Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 690. Before getting into this reading, chances are that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, you can do so by sticking around, hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. My current goal is 500 subscribers, so I can have access to offering channel memberships. So if you do decide to subscribe and support my channel, thank you very much. And the last thing I want to say is if you are interested in a little bit of a free reading, a free mystery reading, or some free messages, check the description box down below. So starting with interpreting the number 690. The reading from yesterday could have been significant for someone. Let me think for a second. In yesterday's reading, I mentioned the numbers 6 and 9 and how for me, it reminds me of like mirroring. It also reminds me of Pisces, and I want to say the spirit animal of a fish, which I think is interesting because it feels unique and different. There is a watery energy here, for sure. This mirroring, there could be a connection here, or this is something within yourself. Your reality could be mirroring something back to you that needs to be addressed or appreciated more. I feel like someone here is learning about, or they could be learning about manifestation, whether they know it or not. The fact that emotions here are strong is interesting because, to me, in my opinion, that's strongly linked to your intuition. I think emotional intelligence is what leads to spiritual awakenings. So if you are an emotionally intelligent person, maybe it's time to appreciate that about yourself more. There are changes happening, like on a global, national, whatever level, and you are just one piece of a puzzle. But like I love to say, every piece of the puzzle matters to see the full picture. So never underestimate the power or the meaning behind your story or your experiences. You might hear that car outside. There could be something significant here about a red car for someone. Maybe there's a specific brand, is that the right word? Model? I don't know, I'm not well versed in cars. But I just got a vision like that confirmed for me that there is a significant car here. Red feels like the most prominent color, but it might not have to be red. Just only take it if it resonates. Trust yourself, listen to your intuition, your inner voice, pay attention to how you feel. It could really give you some insight into the way that you think. Maybe it's good for you to practice labeling the emotions that you feel, so that way you can kind of trace back what kind of thoughts create those emotions. Gaining control over your passion. That feels significant here. To harness it and do something great with it. Whatever that may mean for you. It doesn't have to mean the same thing for everybody. I think we all can agree that great is great. But the 0 in 690 represents, well, 6 on its own is about unconditional love. And I really feel that there is a strong need here to love yourself unconditionally, to heal. And if you're interested in the spiritual psychic stuff, that's part of that. There could be something significant here about your shadow, your higher self, you know, understanding the different forms that you are, understanding how multifaceted you actually are, that all of us are. I want to say like we wear many faces, but it's not like we're wearing a mask. It's hard to describe, but you could feel like you're wearing a mask, and it's time to take the mask off. What are you afraid of? Afraid to be honest about? What part of you are you afraid of being seen? And recognize, I'm really feeling into the shadow energy here. What is an aspect of yourself that you judge or that others judge that you don't deserve to be judging, no matter who it is? You know, it's important to not accept the judgments that you know, how harshly you judge yourself, so that way you know to not accept that from other people. The standard that you raise for others reflects the standard that you set for yourself. So it also goes both ways. The expectations that you set for others, make sure you can meet those expectations as well. Could be important here to be a little more realistic, or to look into grounding yourself. I do feel pretty strong earth energy here if you want to spend some time out in nature or connecting with other people or animals or the environment in whatever way. There is confirmation here for that. I feel a really strong need here to ground, because being an emotional, sentimental, maybe daydreamy, visionary type of person, it's not a bad thing. I just think you need to understand who you are fully in both light and dark, so that way you can express yourself fully, stand up for yourself fully, I want to say. Number 6 can also be linked to the devil, the tarot interpretation of the devil for me. And so there could be an unhealthy attachment here that you need to release. That, you know, there's a choice here between self-destruction and self-love. That is as vague and as general as I can get. And obviously you're being encouraged to choose self-love, to choose yourself, even if it's against yourself. There is a relationship with yourself that you need to nurture, so that way you can understand how to nurture relationships with other people. I just got distracted by the bottom of the deck of cards that I'm going to use. It is the Death card. This energy of death, I think, was in the reading yesterday, actually. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, something here needs to be let go, come to an end. Something here is changing. Or you could be feeling called to learn about, you know, deeper spiritual things that are related to life and death. There could be something significant here about a flag. I feel drawn to it, a certain flag. There's also the number 13. There's a couple messages in there for me to pass along to you. The number 13 is a sign of good luck and good fortune. That's a reminder of how much control you actually do have. For me personally, not a huge believer in luck. I do believe that we create our own luck. Obviously there's things we can't control, but you cannot say that our choices don't matter, that they don't have an impact. You can't say that. So take your choices seriously. And I feel called to say for better or for worse. There's a choice here for better or for worse, self-love or self-destruction, growth or decay. What are you going to choose? Inside and out. This is a very deep reading, very spiritual, very emotional. I do feel that strong water energy coming through. I might feel a little bit of air here as well, just because, I don't know, that balance feels significant, especially when talking about harnessing and properly expressing your passion, your fire, your feelings, your thoughts, you know, yourself. The number 9 is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So know that the love that you give to yourself and that you give to others, it's so much bigger than you. When you do that, it's like it heals humanity in a way. Like when you embrace who you truly are. That's true for all of us. because you do have an impact. There is a ripple effect, at least energetically, and I want to say generationally. We are all very, very much connected, and that feeling of connectedness is what I really hope to make with my channel, and that's why I'm very happy with the background music and everything, because I feel like it really creates the kind of atmosphere that I want to create. Because internet, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. It's like it makes us more connected, but also makes us more disconnected. I guess it just depends on how you use it, but maybe there's something there for you about that, how you use technology. There could need to be a balance here between how much you're on technology or how much time you spend outside. You get to decide that balance as well. Whatever brings you peace, harmony, a feeling of connectedness, meaning, reason, a lot of different things, whatever just brings you feeling. That feels pretty deep. But I think I'm going to go ahead and add up these numbers now. Wait, no. Oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about the 0. The death card is about cycles, because with an ending comes a beginning. Everything comes full circle. Everything has a beginning and everything has an ending, closure. So what beginning are you being called to embrace, or what ending are you being called to accept? What are you being called to release? There's a strong message here about knowing that you are really not alone on this journey, this spiritual journey. There are a lot of people who believe in it, who trust it. I'm one of those people. I believe that it bridges the gap between, like, religion is complicated, because I don't believe religion and spirituality are the same thing. I think spirituality is what bridges the gap between different religions, because I believe that all religions have truth and all religions have lies. It's just up for us to discern what's truth and what's lies. But before we can do that, we have to discern what is truth and lies within ourselves, what truths and lies we tell ourselves. So be very, very mindful of your inner voice, your inner dialogue, the way that you treat yourself, the way you communicate with yourself, the way that you stand up to yourself. You know, sometimes, if you cross your own boundary, you got to call yourself out. And that's okay. I feel a strong need here to embrace closure, to bring something unhealthy that was never meant to last to an end, whether it's coming from within, outside of yourself, or both. I'm getting strong magician energy because, like, the idea of manifestation, your power is really being highlighted here, your influence. We all are individually powerful because of our connectedness. Word of mouth is a powerful thing. It really, really is. And if there is anyone who does feel alone, know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people who feel that way, and it's unfortunate, but we can change that. It just first starts with changing ourselves, changing our own habits. Lao Tzu's prayer might be significant for you. It's spelled L-A-O-T-S-U, I believe, prayer. I'm a strong believer in how connected we all actually are, which I do associate with the number 8. We just got done doing readings for, like, the 80s. I just heard, ⴤ50, which means 50 in Italian. Maybe there's somebody's ancestors that are connected to the number 50, or it could be the 50s. Whether it's 1950s, 1850s. There's a historical, ancestral, almost sacred feeling here, I want to say. This energy is very, very spiritual. But now I'm going to start adding up these numbers before I move on to tarot cards. 6 plus 9 is 15, and 15 plus 0 is still 15. And 15 is the number of the devil. 1 plus 5 is 6, but the tarot interpretation, because the devil card in tarot has the number 15 on it. That's why I associate it with the number 6, because 1 plus 5 is 6. Does that make sense? It's very interesting, because I did mention earlier that the number 6 is associated with the devil. So some sort of temptation is really, really being highlighted here. Something that tempts you either inside or out to, I just got distracted by the name of that movie called Inside Out. That could be a significant movie for you. Maybe there's some messages in there. Oh my gosh. Isn't that movie like all about emotions and stuff? Because I remember there's sadness and there's anger. Oh my gosh. Highly recommend that you watch that movie if you feel called to, and to pay attention to what you feel called to, what message you feel like is in that movie for you. And I'm talking about the first one. I think there's a second one. But yeah, that 15, there's something outside of you tempting you to choose self-destruction, and you need to understand that and understand how to resist it. It's like we all can resist, but it matters what we are resisting. There is a resistance that needs to be reimagined, I think is the best way that I can say it. But now that I'm done interpreting the number 690, there was so many messages to come through for that. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out a card from, what's it called? Okay, The Secrets of Tarot by Hinkler Books. I believe it came from a bookstore, but there could be something significant here about reading, and then I just heard leggere, which means to read in Italian. So someone's ancestors are encouraging you to read, and that's very vague, so only take it if it resonates. Okay, so I have, oh, you are not gonna believe this. You are not gonna believe this. We have the devil. What did I say? See? Has the number 15 right there. Oh, my bad. With me accidentally hitting my camera, it makes me think of, there's a sign here about instability. Let's read this card. Let's read what this says. Materialism. This is the upright, by the way. I think it says fears, obsessions, insecurities, excess. And in reverse, we have freedom, release, and restoring control. Looks like, oh, and upright. It also says playful. So, I mean, as you can see here, there's people and there's the devil. But these people, it doesn't have to actually represent people. There's just someone or something here that you're connected to that is literally encouraging you, influencing you, deceiving you into choosing self-destruction. The devil energy is the epitome, the perfect symbol for self-destruction. And I thought of like the perfect symbol for self-love, and instantly I got a vision of the Temperance card, which is, you know, that card has been coming out a little bit. I haven't seen that card in a while, you know, since I've been seeing it lately. But the Temperance card really, when it's reversed, it says that there's something in excess here. Where it says excess on this card, maybe you're overindulging in something. There's like a snake type of energy. If you are a Christian, you probably already understand, you know, the forbidden fruit type of thing. Give me 1 second here. I forgot to read at the bottom of this card. By the way, I see an ant on the wall. Or for somebody, there could be an ant, like a family member ant, trying to listen in, or maybe one from the other side. But there's like an ant, the insect on the wall. So that could have some symbolism for somebody if you feel called to look it up. For me personally, I believe it's about a hard-working type of energy. So I definitely think you're going to have to work hard to resist some sort of unhealthy temptation, or to release something or someone that you feel bound to, or that makes you feel trapped or restricted or limited. The bottom says jealousy or trouble, able to break the chains that are binding you or holding you back. Yeah, there's definitely, without a doubt, something or someone here, maybe many things or many people, that you need to liberate yourself from. And it's all going to take a shift in perspective. Once you look at yourself from a perspective of love rather than destruction, your whole world is going to change. Like, I just got this imagery of like a rainbow. They snuck that message in here. Give me 1 second. So there is some sort of storm here to weather. I thought that, like earlier I said, you know what, if storms are going to be part of this reading, then it will find its way through. Because right now, you know, I live in the United States, and there's a huge storm going over like the middle of the United States over east, you know, and I live in the Midwest, so I gotta pay attention to that. But storms for me personally do have strong symbolism. You have to believe in your ability to weather this storm and trust yourself to be able to weather this storm. Like a storm symbolizes, I mean, a situation that gives you anxiety. Tornadoes in particular, you know, it is tornado season over here, it's getting into it. They are significant for me, and they symbolize something that is destructive, but it's almost beautiful in a way that's hard to look away from. And so there's some sort of destruction here that you're being called to do, but it can be beautiful at the same time. You know? And this is more in terms of like breaking something down to make room to build something better. Whether it's a way of thinking, a way of feeling, a way of expressing yourself, you know, whatever it may be, inside or out. When it comes to manifestation, especially when you're first learning about it, pay a lot more attention to your inner world, because I think naturally we can be a little more disconnected from that, and it's like something you have to learn. That's interesting. Maybe you're starting to reflect here on what evil means, you know, like bad people. You might be curious about psychology or understanding the way a criminal's mind might work, or even someone who struggles with mental health. There is a way out of whatever this feeling is that makes you feel trapped or stuck or bound. There's a way out. And it starts from within. It makes sense why the emotions in the beginning were so significant. Your emotions have purpose with that number 9. And you won't fully understand that purpose until you've already went through the journey. You know, the journey of healing and being curious about the spiritual stuff and reflecting and trusting yourself and believing in yourself. There's a strong message here about trusting your intuition. You should always trust yourself and pay attention to what reality mirrors back to you, because it's important. It can really tell you a lot. But also you have to make sure you're not looking too deeply. It does feel a little complicated, but just start with reflecting and processing how you feel, and just healing and staying curious about the spiritual things, the magical things that interest you. I actually forgot. I did want to pull another card because I'm kind of, you know, really feeling into doing a reading today. I usually, you know, make sure I'm in the mood before I do a reading. But, you know, whenever, you know how hard it can be to commit to things sometimes. Actually, the devil can also, for me personally, symbolize I need to focus here on your commitments, what your priorities are. Wow, I didn't expect to be drawing out another card, so surprise if you're still here. But I want to draw a card from these box of cards, which are cards that I made myself, if you didn't already know. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I drew a card, because I really think you need to hear this. It says, you are worth the struggle, you are worth the fight, and it has the number 67 on it, with the number 6 being significant. 1 plus 5 is 6. And number 7 is about wisdom. Learning to love yourself unconditionally in the way that you deserve, in a whole and complete way, on your own, is invaluable. So I definitely encourage you to listen to your emotions, listen to your thoughts, listen to yourself and your inner child, your younger self, potentially, that was never heard. Potentially. Only take it if it resonates. 6 plus 7 is 13. Funny how that number came through again. Good luck and good fortune. You are in control. You have so much more control and power than you may realize. We all can make a difference because we are connected and we influence each other. And if you don't see how connected we all truly are, that's definitely something worth looking into. Just like you are worth the struggle and worth the fight. You're worth the patience that it's going to take to heal, the courage and the strength and the hope and the curiosity. I think one thing that could really hold you back is not understanding your full worth or what you fully deserve. Just know that there could be a situation or a relationship here that shouldn't be this hard. I recently gave a message to someone. I feel like that's true for a lot of people. Maybe there's a relationship or a situation here that you feel, why is this so hard? Why am I so frustrated? Why is this not going my way? Ask more questions. Make yourself heard. Voice your concerns. That's been a message lately in the readings as well. I really, really think that learning about your worth is what's going to pull you out of the temptation to choose self-destruction. I'm picking up on a siren type of energy. There could be something significant here about mermaids for someone. But something is luring you, and it seems good, but you need to protect yourself. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, you need to protect yourself, from yourself, from another person, from anything in general, anyone in general. It's important to be willing to stand up for yourself. I thought there was a number 5 right there, but it's the letter E. That number has been following me lately, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it could be significant for you. Also, there's a pentagram up here. I learned that, that is it seems to be one of the most misunderstood symbols. Because, it depends on how it's positioned. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff, but it could be coming through for a reason. Maybe it's confirmation for someone, for you to explore, to be curious, to do some research. Spiritually, don't worry too much about where you feel called to or trying to do things a certain way or whatever. Just trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Listen to your inner voice. I was thinking of that guy. I think it's a Vine. It's an old internet video, kind of. With this guy saying, trust yourself, love yourself. It's an interesting video. Maybe look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's that kind of energy. It's a little bit silly, but it's important to be silly. To not take life so seriously. To not take yourself so seriously. I really think learning about your worth is going to... It's really going to ease the pressure, man. So choose self-love. Choose freedom. And choose liberation. Because you deserve it so much.